Alright guys, so here is my next project. I wasn't looking to start this type of project, but as I was at the junkyard getting some parts from that 924 I usually did, like an idiot, I looked to my side and I saw this thing sitting here. This is a 1967 Porsche 912 short wheelbase. 67 was the year of the lowest production number. This, I believe it may actually be a 66, 67. So that'd be closest to the lowest production. The lowest production in 67 was around 2000. But for however they did it from Carmen, the Carmen factory, which this one came from, this would have been like 3,200, I believe. So second lowest, if it is exactly true. The VIN number starts with certain digits that kind of tell me that. So yeah, I was at the junkyard and found this car and thought, well, why not? I wish I had a little bit more light. It's night. I had to do some things with my wife to make up for buying this vehicle. But yeah, so when I went to talk to the owner of the salvage yard, which is, sort of a kind of a friend of mine, a guy that I know, he ended up selling this to me for $250. So, it seemed like a no-brainer. I actually posted the question out on Ren's list, and the guys on the 944 just basically told me, if you don't do this, you're crazy. Where's the car at? And so, of course, I made sure I went through with it. Sometimes, it's good to check with your guys first. So about the car, a little bit more about the car. This is 67 was the first year that they went to the standard 5-pod instead of the 3-pod that were in the previous ones. This one is pretty much gutted out. It's okay because, these cars, just as it sit, sell for a lot more than $250. This car looks like it had some damage. It has damage on, let's see here, almost every panel. This panel looks like it's repaired, but it's the good panel. And the top's still good also. Looks like it hit a tree or hit something on this side here. But from what I saw from the structural parts of it, it didn't look like it damaged too much of the actual car itself. And as I'm looking, again, I don't know a whole incredible lot about 912s. I am learning more and more as it goes. Like I said, this is a short wheelbase. I found out what the difference between short wheelbase and long wheelbase is. You can see right here. You see this access area for, I believe, your suspension, which is right back there. If you can see that at all, on a long wheelbase, which started in 69, it was actually moved further back. So the hole stayed the same spot, but you had more of this body area coming back. That's one way to definitely tell that you have a long wheelbase. And so these cars are gaining a lot of popularity at this point because, as 911s are sopped up and sold at ridiculous prices now. I'm seeing up there on eBay for $110, $115, for good examples of it. So you can imagine that a okay example, is still going to be 60, 70,000. These cars have gained a lot more popularity. From what I understand, just as a little backdrop, the 912 was actually like a better merge from the 911, from the 356 to 911. So the 911s came out, bigger engines, 6 cylinders. There was a lot more weight in the back of the car, and which of course meant that it was easier to spin the car, get into very dangerous situations. So to bridge the gap, it wasn't that Porsche necessarily made the cheap car in the 912. They just made a car for a bridge. So they put same body basically as a 911, and they made the engine. The engine's actually smaller, and I can tell you, if I remove this piece right here, that one way you can tell is see how these mounts here are here. This is a 912 because there's a beam or support that comes across here, whereas with the 911s, they're mounted further in the back here, okay? But what that did is, because the engine was pushed further up, even though it was much less of an engine, it actually improved handling dynamics quite a bit. So you didn't get weight sitting all the way in the back. So when you're going through a corner, you didn't have those type of dangers. The weight was more centered in the car, which made this a much better handling vehicle than the 911 was, especially in its early production period. So, yeah, so this was with the smaller engine came a much smaller price tag, which this was a very popular vehicle that Porsche put out there. And many people refer to this as the poor man's Porsche. I don't think that's the case anymore, because good examples of this car are right now selling at $60,000 and going up. And it's funny because I looked at forums, from like 2003, 2005, something like that, and they were saying, hey, this is all you'll get for a 912. Good example be the best example would be $25,000. Well, now we look in 2016, 2015, and they've more than doubled. So, I just put this video out here. I bought this car to see, how bad it is off. I know underneath it's pretty bad. As far as, some floor panels needing to be redone and everything. And I'm going to see if I really want to tackle the task or if it's too much. And if not, I'm going to see what my eye did for me going to a junkyard. And I just want to show this to you guys, because this shows you that these cars are still out there. You can find them in junkyards. You can find people that have them, and you can buy them for a price that you can afford. And either you can restore it yourself, live out your dream, or you can sell it to help you get to your dream. So I'll keep you guys posted on what's going on with this vehicle, and what I plan to do with it and where it's at, and we'll go from there. But yeah, again, $250 stinking dollars. Awesome. All right, thanks guys. Bye.